Wait lang guys, i-install lang daw ni Doc yung Zoom niya.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon po, Doc.
Can you see me now?
Yes,
Yes
po, Doc.
po, Doc.
Okay, everybody in already? Please open your videos, your cameras, because I'll just take a screenshot for the attendance later, okay? You're all first year, right? This is our first meeting.
Yes,
Yes
po,
po,
Doc.
Doc.
Okay, this is your first or second semester?
Second sem po, Doc.
Second sem. Why are you all in uniform?
Pinarequire na po kami, Doc, ng isang prof po namin sa FISO. So, nakapag-avail na po kami lahat ng uniform since first sem po.
Ah, okay. Amazing. Kasi lahat ng class ko, yung iba nakapambahay. Alright, anyway, if they require you to do so, it's alright. So, shall we begin? Are you all ready? Okay, sige. For the first topic, I think this is the first lecture for neuroanatomy, right? Ideally, we teach neuroanatomy, especially the laboratory, in person, so that we'll be able to tell you or explain to you the different parts of the brain with you seeing the brain specimen, no? But it's really very impossible with this setup that we have. Okay, so let's do. How can I share my screen? Here. So let's do with all what we have here. Okay. How can I share my...
Doc, dun sa lower part po, may nakalagay na share screen.
share screen and then PowerPoint?
Overview po dun nung yung
Bakit wala? Hindi niyo nakikita, no?
hindi po, Doc.
Hindi. Bakit ayaw? Security and open security and wait lang ah. Wala pa din?
Wala po, Doc.
Sino nga ang aking coordinator?
Dalawa po kami ni Miss Furigay po, Doc.
I-send ko na lang sa'yo, ah.
Sige
Ay,
po.
sila?
Yung ako pa, Doc. Hindi po.
Pwede ko bang isend sa messenger mo
Yes po, Doc.
yung aking lecture and then ikaw na lang mag-ano? Hindi ako techie. Baka ma-postpone na naman ito dahil ma-high blood lang ako dito sa laptop ko.
Sige po, Doc.
Pwedeng ikaw mag-open? Nakuha mo na?
Wala pa po, Doc.
Hintayin mo lang sending. No, cannot be completed. Ito na, share screen. Kita niyo na?
Yes po, Doc. Kita na po.
My God. Wait lang Okay, nakita niyo na lahat? Everyone can see the slides?
Yes po, Doc.
Yes po, Doc.
Po, Doc.
After 10 years. Kaya ayun ayoko ng technology. Ayun ayoko ng Zoom. Wala bang iba? Hindi ba daw ba kayo mag-face to face? Wala pang
Wala.
plano ninyo?
Wala pang update po, Doc.
Wala pang update. Okay. Saan ko ba ilalagay itong mga mukha nyo na istorbo ako? Okay. Sige. I turned off my Yan. Kasi parang hindi bumagal. Alright. So, since it's my first time to meet you guys, no? Tama ba? First time tayo, no?
Yes po.
Okay, so let me just introduce myself. I'm Dr. Catherine Jane Lara. I'm a neurologist with a subspecialty in stroke and neurovascular ultrasound. Okay, so there. Ang stroke kasi is actually a subspecialty in neurology already. If you want to get into neurology, marami na kaming subspecializations. Okay, anyone who's interested in going to neurology? Meron ba?
Meron po, Doc.
Wow, meron. Very good. So dahil meron tayong interested, dapat at by first year pa lang, you know your neuroanatomy by heart already because when you get into neurology, our dictum is neuroanatomy precedes the diagnosis. Okay? So ibig sabihin, if you know your neuroanatomy very well, you know what your patient is suffering from. Okay? So yun ang pina-follow natin na dictum in neurology. Okay? So let's begin our lecture with the cerebral cortex. So this is just an introduction. Okay, so I'll be teaching you both lecture and laboratory. We'll have the laboratory part next meeting that will be on Monday. Tama ba, Da?
Friday po, Doc. Tapos make up ulit sa Monday.
Okay, the makeup for this lab part of the lecture today would be Monday next week. Okay, we'll have the regular schedule this coming Friday. All right? You got it? The schedule?
Yes po, Doc. Yes po.
Yes po, Doc.
Okay, so let's begin. So before we discuss the different parts of the brain, let's check first the planes and the different directions in the nervous system. Okay? Para alam nyo kung ano yung dinidescribe ko. Say for example, I tell you or I ask you what is the anterior most part of the frontal lobe. So ano ba yung anterior, what is superior, what is posterior, what is rostral and dorsal. Okay, so these are the different planes in the nervous system. We have axial. So this is the brain. You cut it half. The one above is anterior. The one below is posterior. Okay. So this is axial cut, axial view. Usually your CT scan is in axial view. Coronal view is like this. So it's as if your patient has a crown or the brain or on top of your head there's a crown. Ganun ang coronal view, okay? It's very important that you know the different planes because it will aid you in making or identifying the different parts of the brain later on, okay? And then sagittal view or longitudinal view is like this, okay? So nakakat siya. So when you say coronal view or frontal view, it's parallel to the long axis of the body. So ito siya, parallel to the long axis of the body. Sagittal view, you cut it into halves, okay? There is a longitudinal fissure in the brain. It's also called longitudinal or sagittal view, okay? And then the axial or the horizontal plane is perpendicular to the sagittal view, okay? So if I ask you to draw the different planes and directions in the nervous system, you should at least be able to identify this. Nakikita niyo naman yung cursor, no?
Yes po, Doc.
Okay. Identify what is this cut. This is sagittal, okay? So this is cut sagittally, okay? But this one is labeled as the medial portion of the brain, okay? This is medial. This is medial view. How about this? What view is this?
Axial. Ay,
Axial
superior.
superior.
That's superior view. Very good. That's superior. This one? Ano? Inferior.
Superior view.
Very good. This one? What view is this? This is
Lateral view.
lateral view. Very good. What cut is this?
Coronal.
Corona.
Coronal. Very good. And then this one?
Axial.
Axial. So you should know the difference between axial view and coronal view, okay? Most of the time, if the coronal view is cut in the middlemost portion of the brain, you can see parts of the brain stem. You get it?
Yes.
Okay, you should at least differentiate the coronal from the axial view, okay? So again, this is just a better picture of the views of the brain. This is lateral, this is sagittal, okay, if you cut it. But if I ask you what is this view, this is medial, okay? So, and then this is the inferior and the superior view respectively. So whenever I ask you what can you see in the inferior view of the brain, you should be able to identify the cerebellum. This is the cerebellum, the parts of the brainstem, including the different cranial nerves. So again, this is just another picture showing to you the surface anatomy of the cerebral cortex. You have the left hemisphere, okay? This is the lateral view, and then this is the right hemisphere. This is mid-sagittal. What connects the two hemispheres of the brain? From your
Corpus callosum.
okay, corpus callosum, is it made up of axons or neurons?
Axons po.
Why axons?
Composed po siya ng white matter po.
It's a white matter, okay? It's a connective tissue, parang ganon, okay? So it's made up of axons because the corpus callosum is mainly a pathway, okay? So it's where multiple synapses coming from the left and right side of the brain crosses to the other portion, okay? And then this is the dorsal or back view of the brain. So kapag sinabi nating dorsal aspect, you can see the occipital lobe and then parts of the cerebellum and the medulla. Okay? Okay, so this is just another view showing to us the different cuts of the brain. So if this is your brain, this is a supposed to be, this is a 4D, no? Kaya lang, mas maganda sana kung i-lecture to in person. We have the brain specimen. I can just show it to you. So this is anterior and posterior. This is superior and the inferior portion, okay? When you say, but if you look into it, if you have a real brain specimen, the inferior view is actually ventral, okay? And then this one is the dorsal view. Okay, so this is dorsal. So if I ask you if I ask you to identify a portion of the brain that is dorsal to a certain structure, you should be able to know ano ba ang dorsal, saan ba ang dorsal, saan ang ventral. Ventral because this is the anterior most portion, kay dorsal kasi going posterior na siya, okay? So this is very important. When we have our laboratory next week, I might be able to ask you to identify the different planes of the brain. You should be able to draw it accordingly. Now, walang kodigo, of course. Okay? We have question with regard to the planes of the brain, planes and views. Naintindihan nyo naman? Alin ang anterior, posterior, lateral, medial, sagittal? Do you have questions? Anyway, as we go through, okay, I'll be giving you i-identify naman natin sila properly. Say for example, this is a lateral view of the brain showing to you the left hemisphere. So ganon, okay? Para at least mas ma-memorize natin. Now we go to the major regions of the brain, okay? So first, let's go with the cerebrum or the cerebral cortex. Anyway, ang source pala ng inyong lecture ay number 1, Blumenfeld, Neuroanatomy by Blumenfeld. Number 2 is Snell. You have Snell, Neuroanatomy by Snell. You have? Guys, meron ba kayo? Wala.
Meron po, Doc.
Meron. You have Blumenfeld.
Meron din po.
Meron, okay. For purposes of examination, we'll be using Blumenfeld. But for purposes of discussion, it would be a mix of many neuroanatomy books, okay? Okay, so the cerebral cortex is the largest division of the brain. It's divided into 2 hemispheres, each of it having 4 lobes. What are the 4 lobes of your brain? We have frontal, it's located anteriorly. Next would be the parietal lobe, the occipital, and the temporal, which is the most inferior and most lateral portion of the brain. How about the insular lobe? Is it a lobe? Is it part of the cerebral cortex, or is it really identified as a division of the cerebral cortex, the insular lobe? Anyone? Wala pang naka-encounter in their readings if the insular lobe is really a true lobe of the cerebral cortex. Wala akong kausap. Asan na kayo? Insular cortex. Make a wild guess. Insular lobe. Is it a true lobe? Limbic lobe. Sige na nga lang, limbic lobe.
Hindi po, Doc.
Hindi. Okay, yes. Later on, I'll explain to you why it's not a true lobe, okay? So, the cerebral cortex is made up of sulci. When we say sulci, okay, it's the numerous infoldings or crevices, okay? So, if you spread the sulci, could you imagine how much is the area of the entire brain? it's really very wide, okay? But it became tawag dito, it's because of these numerous enfoldings that causes it to shrink like that, okay? So the bumps or the ridges, this one, the bumps or the ridges of the cortex are called your gyri, okay? So the different gyri and the different sulci divides the brain, especially the cerebral cortex, into 4 lobes. So we've identified them already, okay? So there. This is just a picture showing to you the imaginary location of the corpus callosum, which interconnects the 2 cerebral hemispheres. This corpus callosum is made up of white matter, okay, because it's solely made up of tracts, okay? So puro tracts lang siya. You can see it here if you open this. This is the longitudinal fissure, sometimes called your parasagittal or the sagittal fissure, okay? It divides the cerebral cortex into left and right hemisphere. Now, which is the if most of people are right-handed, right? So if you're right-handed, what is the dominant hemisphere? If you are a right-handed person,
Left po, Doc.
left, okay. Now, if you are a left-handed person, which is the dominant hemisphere?
Right.
Left pa rin po.
Left pa din, okay? So, almost 80 to 90% of left-handed people have a left dominant hemisphere, okay? So, konti lang. Why is it important that you should know or you should ask the handedness of your patient? It's because that handedness will determine kung saan yung language area ng patient ninyo. And that language area, the location of the language area of your patient will determine which hemisphere is dominant. Is it the left or the right? 99% of the individuals have left-sided brain dominance or hemispheric dominance, meaning to say their language area is found on the left side of the brain. Because what determines handedness and what determines which hemisphere is the dominant one is actually language. Naintindihan? Okay, so kung ano ang dominant na hemisphere is determined by language. Okay? So language, may kinalaman dyan yung pagsusulat natin or your handedness. Okay, just some facts about the brain. It weighs about 400 grams at birth. Okay, and then it triples during the first 3 years of life due to growth of myelin and the neuronal process. It reaches maximum weight of 1,400 grams by the age 18. So, ibig sabihin, a fully developed brain, or for you to say that a patient's brain is fully developed, no, usually ang cutoff namin is 18 years of age. And then it slowly declines by the age of 50. So when we say decline, it's not a decline in the function of the brain. It's a decline in the weight of the brain. So atrophy or the decrease in volume of brain slowly starts by the age of 50. Okay? For females, it's usually faster yung decline because of hormonal changes brought about by menopausal states. But for males, the decline is a lot faster. Bakit kaya? Bakit kaya mas mabilis mag-atrophy or mag-decrease in volume ang weight ng lalaki kaysa sa babae when they reach the age of 50? Any guess? Anong meron sa lalaki? Any guess?
Testosterone po.
No. Actually, kung hormones ang pag-uusapan natin, female brains atrophy faster because of the hormonal imbalances. That's because of the vices of usually males kasi, di ba? So, it puts you into risk of a faster brain atrophy. Okay? If you are an alcoholic or smoker or use of drugs. So these things put your brain into an abrupt or rapid decline with regard to its weight. Okay. Okay, so again, these are just the sulci and gyri. Okay, the brain is folded and convoluted. Gyrus is the ridge. Sulcus is the groove. The fissure, okay, fissures are actually deep sulci. So here, di ba meron tayong medial fissure. This is the sagittal fissure, di ba? We've identified kanina. Tama ba? Sagittal fissure. And then here we have the lateral fissure or the lateral sulcus. It divides the frontal, parietal, and occipital lobe from the temporal lobe. You have a central sulcus. Sulcus kasi is medyo mababaw lang. When we say gyri, when we say fissure, it's actually deeper, no? So the folding into a gyri and sulci is a mechanism to increase the total cortical area of about 2.5 square feet. Okay? So ganyan naman talaga kalaki ang brain natin. But it's because of these different enfoldings that make it small to fit in a confined skull. So if this is the central sulcus, this just identify the gyrus that are important here. If this is the central sulcus, anterior to it is the precentral gyrus, and posterior to it is the postcentral gyrus. Now, the frontal lobe is further divided into a superior frontal lobe, a middle frontal lobe, and an inferior frontal lobe. Okay? So, try lang natin identify as much as we could. How about the parietal lobe? This is the parietal lobe bounded by the postcentral gyrus, okay, and a fissure here, which we will identify later. And then it's divided further into an superior parietal lobe and an inferior parietal lobe. So again, pag frontal, meron tayong superior, middle, and inferior frontal lobe. Pag parietal, or gyrus, I should say, pag parietal lobe, it's only divided into a superior and an inferior gyrus. Okay? For temporal lobe, there is a superior, a middle, and an inferior temporal gyrus. Okay? So it's also divided by different gyri and sulci. Okay, so let's look at the prominent sulci that we can see in the brain. This is the central sulcus of Rolando. Mas maganda sana siya if you can see a true specimen of the brain, no? Kasi sabi ko sa inyo, for you to be able to really know your neurology, your neuroscience, you have to really memorize by heart the different parts of the brain. And how would you be able to really do that is to have a hold of a true brain specimen, okay? Kasi when I was in college, I had my own brain specimen because I took up BA psychology and we have neuroanatomy as part of it. So, ganun siya. Kaya college pala ako. Gusto ko nang mag-neuro kahit wala akong pangarap mag-doktor. So, there. These are the prominent sulci that we can identify. This is the central sulcus of Rolando. Okay. Again, anterior to it, you have your precentral gyrus, and posterior to it, your postcentral gyrus. Then this is the lateral sulcus or the sylvian fissure. If it is a fissure, it's actually deep. Okay. And then we have the parieto-occipital sulcus. It's just an imaginary line dividing the parietal lobe from the occipital lobe. Okay. And then you have your cingulate sulcus, which you will see in the medial aspect of the brain. So itong cingulate sulcus is seen in the medial aspect of the brain. And then here we have another deep fissure. This is the longitudinal fissure. Okay? You have questions at this point? Wala, saan yung mga kausap ko? Guys, you have question at this point?
None po, Doc.
Nan. Saan na kayo? Hindi ko na kayo nakikita. Natuwa talaga ako sa inyo. Nag-uniform kayo. Hindi ba kayo nawi-weirdohan? You're just at home and you're wearing uniform? Kung ako yan, natatawa ako sa sarili ko. Hindi kayo natatawa? Ako tawang-tawa. Kasi ngayon lang ako nakikita lang nasa bahay, naka-uniform. Ano kayo? Grabe. Sasayaw kayo ng labahan. Okay, next. Let's go now to the different lobes of the brain. Okay. So first, we tackled the frontal lobe. Everything about the frontal lobe. Frontal lobe, ang anteriorly, ito siya. Okay. There are different parts of the frontal lobe, and the frontal lobe is very, very specific for control of motor behavior, motor strength, as well as the behaviors of a person. Okay, so if you have, say, for example, lesions involving the frontal lobe, you see different behavioral changes in one person. Pangalawa, there are also, the frontal lobe also functions for language, but there are two types of language. Okay, there is a spoken language and a motor language. So iba-iba yung nagko-function dyan, which later on we will discuss. Okay, so the frontal lobe consists of the frontal pole of the brain. This is the frontal pole of the brain up to the central sulcus of Rolando. Okay, so etong central sulcus of Rolando, it's actually a deep fissure. Kaya madali lang siyang i-locate if you see a true specimen of the brain. It ends inferiorly. Okay, the frontal lobe ends inferiorly at the lateral sulcus of Rolando. Okay, and then medially, it extends posteriorly to an imaginary line from the top of the central sulcus to the cingulate gyrus or cingulate sulcus. Okay, ganito ang mag-name ng brain. If you say precentral gyrus, ibig sabihin merong precentral sulcus. Okay, so meron siyang corresponding sulcus. Each gyri has a corresponding sulcus. So this is a medial view of the brain, showing to you the medial portions of the frontal lobe, the parietal lobe, and the occipital lobe. Okay, sabi kanina in this statement, medially, the frontal lobe extends posteriorly to an imaginary line from the top of the central sulcus here up to the cingulate sulcus. Okay, so yan. Asan? Okay. Ba't di ko makita ang cingulate gyrus? Cingulate gyrus. Nakikita nyo ba? Hindi siya na-label. Anyway, this is the cingulate gyrus. Wala, no? This is the cingulate gyrus. Okay? So there, that's the component of the frontal lobe. Now, this is the tough tissue that connects the two hemispheres of the brain, the corpus callosum. So let's identify as much structures as we could. Okay? This is a continuation of the precentral gyrus, okay, and your central sulcus. Actually, sa central sulcus nyo, you can, if you try to follow the sulcus up to the medial portion of the brain, kaya nyo namang insert yung finger nyo up to this point. And then, later on, parang magiging blind na siya, okay? Once it becomes blind, wala ka nang mako-continue dito, that's already your cingulate gyrus, okay? Another tissue that connects the brain is the thalamus. Okay? So later on, kapag nasa basal ganglia tayo, we will further discuss those. But for now, we will focus more on the lobes of the brain. Okay, next we have the parietal lobe. The parietal lobe mostly functions for sensory. So all types of sensory information goes to the parietal lobe. So, ano yung mga sensory information? We have visual, hearing, okay? What else? Touch, pain, temperature. Okay, those are sensory pathways. What else? Your gustatory, okay, or taste sensation also goes to your parietal cortex. Ano pa? Meron ba tayong nakalimutan? Or anyway, the parietal lobe extends from the central sulcus, okay, here, and then posterior to it is your postcentral gyrus. So it extends from the central sulcus to an imaginary line connecting the top of the parieto-occipital sulcus and the pre-occipital notch, which is located in the medial aspect of the brain. So inferiorly, it is bounded also by the lateral sulcus, like your frontal lobe, okay? And then medially, it's bounded by the cingulate and the calcarine sulci. So here, medially, the parietal lobe is bounded by the cingulate gyrus or the cingulate sulci, sulcus. Yan din siya because this is the entire cingulate gyrus, okay? So it's bounded medially by the cingulate and the calcarine sulcus. The calcarine is here. It divides the parietal area from the occipital lobe. Okay, next we have your temporal lobe. The temporal lobe functions for behavior, for control of involuntary motor movements like seizures, okay? And most importantly, it functions for memory, okay? So the temporal lobe extends superiorly by the lateral sulcus, okay, this one, and the line forming the inferior boundary of the parietal lobe. So ito siya, okay? Then posteriorly, it extends at the pre-occipital notch, this one, and the parieto-occipital sulcus. And then medially, it is bounded by the collateral sulcus. So ito siya. Okay, that's the medial portion of the temporal lobe. If you see the fine dots here, actually what it's trying to show you is the limbic lobe. This is the entire limbic lobe. These are the components of the limbic lobe. The cingulate gyrus, which we know from earlier, and then the parahippocampal or the hippocampal gyrus, or most often called your superior temporal gyrus, is also a part of the limbic lobe. But it is actually a misnomer because it's not really a true lobe. It's called that way kasi the limbic lobe actually is a portion of the brain that controls emotions. Okay? So kaya lang naging misnomer na tinatawag siyang limbic lobe. So the function of limbic lobe is actually to control emotions and behavior of an individual. So, pag sinabing emotions, yan yung mga nafe-feel natin. So, say for example, it was Valentine's just yesterday and you say or you tell your boyfriend or your girlfriend, I love you with all my heart. That's wrong. Ang dapat, correctly speaking, what you should say is, I love you with all my hypothalamus and limbic system. Okay? Kasi that's the seat of your emotion. So, since you're medical students, dapat i-correct nyo na yan. Pero ang corny naman, yun ang sasabihin nyo, di ba? Okay. Next, the occipital lobe. Okay, the occipital lobe main function would be for vision, for control of vision. So, anteriorly, it extends by the parietal and temporal lobes on both the lateral and the medial aspect. So, this is a lateral view. And then medial view, you have your parieto-occipital sulcus. It's more obvious than on the lateral side. And then you see the different portions of the occipital lobe. Okay? Okay, so ito yung limbic lobe na sinasabi natin. It's just a strip of cortex that encircles the telencephalon and diencephalon junction. So pag sinabi natin telencephalon, it's composed of the four lobes, major lobes of the brain. Pag sinabi natin diencephalon, ano ba yung mga portions of the diencephalon or what brain structures arises from the diencephalon? You have your thalamus, hypothalamus, epithalamus. So those are your diencephalon. So andito lahat ng diencephalon, nasa gitna. Okay? And then outside it is the telencephalon. So interposed between the limbic lobe and interposed between the corpus callosum are the the limbic lobe is interposed between the corpus callosum, so here, and the frontal, parietal, and the occipital lobes, or the major lobes of the brain. Okay. So another lobe, sinasabi nila, is the insular region or the insular lobe. Okay. So where do you find this? If this is the lateral view of the brain, you try to open it. You try to open it through the lateral sulcus. May makikita kayong mass of tissue here. Okay. So yan yung tinatawag natin ng insula. It is buried in the depths of the lateral sulcus. Okay, the lobe is overlying the insula is called the operculum or the lid. Okay, so may mga iba-ibang functions itong mga different lobes of the brain. I will try to identify all of them when we get into the laboratory. So this is the insula na part, no? So this is anong view ito ng brain? What cut of the brain is this?
Coronal po.
Yes, it's a coronal view. So if you cut the brain in a coronal slice, okay, you find here the lateral sulcus, you open it, you find the insula at the back. Okay, so the insula is very important. Madaming importances to. So it's best at this early that you know where to find it. Okay. Okay, now going back to the frontal lobe, we've identified already a while ago the different gyrus or the main gyrus. This is the presentral gyrus. Do you know, in your readings, have you gone through the Brodmann areas? Hindi pa. Have you encountered in your reading Brodmann areas? Wala pa. Wala pa?
Wala pa po, Dok.
Wala pa. Okay. It's all right. Lahat yan iaaralin natin isa-isa. Okay? So this is if this is the central sulcus, anterior to that is the entire frontal lobe. This is the precentral gyrus, often called the primary motor area. Okay? Its function is for control of motor movements of the contralateral extremity. Okay, so again, this is a precentral gyrus or your primary motor area, sometimes known as your Brodmann area number 4. Okay, so ayan siya. And then the frontal lobe is further divided into 3 frontal gyri, your superior, middle, and inferior frontal gyrus. The inferior frontal lobe is very important because it contains the different parts, your pars opercularis, this one, the pars triangularis, and pars orbitalis. What's the importance of this? It contains the motor speech of the brain. Okay? Kasi ang brain natin may motor speech, which is called the Broca's area, and meron siyang sensory speech. Yung motor speech is your ability to articulate, your ability to speak. Naintindihan? When we say sensory portion of the language or sensory or the motor or the vernix area, it means the content of the speech or the language. Okay? So for you to be able to understand or comprehend, dapat nag-work ang both Broca's area, which is found here in the inferior frontal gyrus, and the vernix area, which is found here in the parietal sulcus. Okay, we will later on discuss that. Okay, inferiorly, this is the brain, no? Hawakan nyo siya pababa. Inferiorly, there are also different gyrus that we can identify. This is the gyrus rectus. Okay, the gyrus rectus is divided from the orbitofrontal sulcus by an important groove, this olfactory sulcus. This olfactory sulcus is very important because this is where the olfactory nerve lies. Okay, olfaction. Ito yung olfactory nerve. The olfactory nerve is found inferiorly or beneath the frontal lobe. Okay, so ayan siya. So imagine nyo na lang kung merong bukol yung patient nyo in the inferior frontal gyrus, maapektuhan ang kanilang pang-amoy. Okay? So your patient may present with symptoms of anosmia because the olfactory nerve is just here overlying the olfactory sulcus. Okay? So again, if this is your gyrus rectus, it is separated by the olfactory sulcus to the orbitofrontal cortex. This is the orbitofrontal cortex. Okay. Okay, what are the different functional areas? Nasabi na natin to kanina. The primary motor cortex. This is the primary motor cortex or M1. It's Brodmann area number 4. That's also the other name of your presentral gyrus. Okay, it contains the motor cells of the descending pathways, specifically the anong motor pathway yon?
Corticospinal po.
Corticospinal tract. Okay? So, ang ibig sabihin ng corticospinal tract from the cerebral cortex down to the spinal cord. So, ganun kahaba ang corticospinal tract natin. So, its function is for initiation of voluntary movements. Okay? So, if this is Brodmann area number 4, anterior to it is Brodmann area number 6, also known as your secondary motor area. Okay, so anterior to it is your Brodmann area number 6 or your secondary motor area. Anterior to your area number 6 is area number 8. This is your, ano kaya to? Frontal eye field. Okay, your Brodmann area number 8 is known as your frontal eye field. This is the reason why both of your eyes move conjugately. Pag yung isa titingin sa left, the other will follow. Hindi yung ang mata nyo nakatingin yung isa sa left, yung isa nakatingin sa right. Of course not, hindi siya pwede. So for your eye to be able to move conjugately, your Brodmann area number 8 or your frontal eye field should be normal. Okay? So kung may mga patients tayo na may abnormality or have this conjugate gaze, then probably they have lesions involving the area number 8. And then this is the prefrontal cortex. The prefrontal cortex is anterior to Brodmann area number 8 and Brodmann area number 6. Anong significance ng prefrontal cortex? Anyone from your readings? Guys, do you follow? Baka masyado tayo mabilis. Okay naman kayo?
Okay lang po, Dok.
Okay lang kayo? Ako lang ba hindi okay? Okay. Sorry, may nag-text. Anyway, saan na tayo? The prefrontal cortex. Anong function ng prefrontal cortex is for executive behavior. Okay, executive behavior nyo. So, for patients who are schizophrenic, ganon, usually the lesion is found in your prefrontal cortex. Or say, for example, you have a patient who got into a motorcycle accident. Makita nyo, there are contusion hematoma in the prefrontal cortex. Usually, what you see in your patient is that they have behavioral changes, they have inhibitions, or disinhibitions. Okay? It's because their executive function is lost secondary to the damage. Okay? So this is a motor homunculus. Okay? This is again a coronal section of the brain. Okay? Showing to you the portion of the frontal lobe. This is the, ano to? Ano to? What is this major sulcus here? Ano to?
Lateral sulcus po.
Lateral sulcus of Rolando. Okay, and then this one, if you open it, ano nga to?
Insula po.
Insula.
This is the insula. Okay, so bakit important itong insula? It's because the face is here. Okay, the face is located here. If you look at the map of the motor homunculus, okay, this is the medial this is the medial portion of the lobe. Okay, the frontal lobe. Okay, so when we say motor homunculus, it's just a representation of the part of the body that's being controlled by the frontal lobe or by the cortex. Okay? Anong ibig sabihin nun, Doc? Ang ibig sabihin nun, say for example, the medial aspect of the frontal lobe, it controls movement of the foot, the lower leg, the thighs, okay, and then down the line. So say for example, you have a tumor here in the middle aspect of the brain. Actually, ang genitalia is also here, okay? So kapag meron kang stroke or any lesion for that matter in this medial portion of the brain, your patient would produce weakness of the lower extremity, and sometimes urinary incontinence because the genitalia is also found in this portion. It's also controlled by the medial aspect of the frontal lobe. Now, say for example, you have a patient who has a seizure. Anong nakikita niyo sa seizure niya? If say for example, the relative described the seizure as twitching of the face, okay, nagtutwitch ang face niya, and lip smacking, most of the time, the abnormality is found here in the peri-insular region. Naintindihan? This is the significance of the motor homunculus. Now, say for example, the lesion is found here in the temporal lobe. What you see in the patient is sometimes is slurring of speech. Okay? Kasi andyan yung tongue natin. Okay? So there, this is just a representation of the map of the body, okay, being controlled by the cortex. Ulitin ko ha, it's the cortex. Pag sinabi natin cortex, ibig sabihin that area of the brain that's outside most, near to the skull. So yan ang cortex, the blue area. Everything that's brown here is called your subcortical area. Okay? Okay, so after the Brodmann area number 4, we have Brodmann area number 6. That's the superior, composed of the superior and the inferior frontal gyri. It's for initiation. The secondary motor area is for initiation of voluntary movement. So ito nagpapagalaw, but the initiation comes from the Brodmann area number 6. Now, the Broca's area, so ito na yung mga area of the inferior frontal lobe, right? So, ang Brodmann area for Broca's area, can you guess what is the Brodmann area for Broca's area?
44, 45 po.
44, 45. Okay, the Broca's area is made up of pars opercularis and pars triangularis of the inferior frontal gyrus, usually of just one hemisphere, and that is the left. Okay, so again, it's the language portion of the brain that tells us hemispheric dominance, not handedness. Okay, so the left side of the brain is for written as well as spoken language, and it is identified as Brodmann area 44 and 45. 44 is pars opercularis, 45 is pars triangularis. Okay? The vernix area is actually sometimes, iba-iba yan, depending on what book you're gonna read. Vernix area or Brodmann area number,
Ano po ulit, Doc?
Vernix area, Brodmann area
22.
Okay. So it's 22. Sometimes the vernix area is identified as the posterior end of the superior temporal lobe. Sometimes it's identified as part of the inferior parietal lobe. Okay? It depends on the book that you read. Okay? Sometimes sinasabi nila part siya ng temporal lobe. Yung ibang book naman ang sabi part siya ng parietal lobe. Okay? But suffice for you to say, it's here, it's located here. But to us neurologists, it's actually part of both temporal, inferior temporal, and part of the superior temporal lobe. That's the vernix area or the sensory language area. Okay? All right. So again, this is the prefrontal cortex. It's for personality, insight, foresight, and executive functions. Okay? So inferiorly, you see if this is the prefrontal cortex, no, inferiorly, you see the orbito-prefrontal cortex, ventromedial prefrontal cortex, and the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex. Okay? This is just nice to know. Do you have questions with the frontal lobe? Very basic pa lang yun. Nasa labas pa lang tayo ng frontal lobe. That's just the cortex. Wala pa tayo sa loob. Okay? Do you have questions at this point? Wala. Wala na tayong tanong. Hello guys, asan na kayo?
Wala po, Doc.
Wala. Okay, now we go to the parietal lobe. So the parietal lobe is bounded by the central sulcus. Posteriorly to that is your postcentral gyrus or Brodmann area 312. It's also called your primary sensory area. Dok, ba't di na lang 1, 2, 3? Hindi ko din alam. Lahat ng mga pilosopong neurologists already asked, why not 1, 2, 3? Why 3, 1, 2? Actually, at this time, hindi pa na alam. So, but in honor of Brodmann, who named all of those, okay, you just follow what he did. And that's Brodmann area 312. Eh, Dok, paano pag ang sagot namin 1, 2, 3 on exam? Pilosopo na yon. I will still mark it wrong, okay? Then your parietal lobe is further divided in the superior parietal lobule and your inferior parietal lobule. Siya lang ang walang medial parietal lobe. Okay, so medially, it's divided. So this is the medial portion, no? This part is the posterior paracentral lobule. Ito ang central sulcus. So the central sulcus up to this is the area of your parietal lobe. The precuneus and cuneus are part of your occipital lobe. Okay. So this is the paracentral lobule. When you say paracentral lobule, actually it's the dead end of the central sulcus. Sinasabi ko sa inyo, if you trace the central sulcus with your finger, pagpunta nyo medially, mag-i-end siya. And that is called your paracentral lobule. The paracentral lobule is very important because that's where the control of the lower leg and the foot is. Okay? So, yan siya. This paracentral lobule, if it's involved in any lesion like tumor or stroke, will produce weakness of the contralateral lower extremity, sometimes associated with urinary changes. Okay? So there are 3 primary functions of the parietal lobe, namely, it contains the primary somatosensory area for tactile and proprioception, okay? And of course, pain and temperature and touch. The inferior parietal lobule is for comprehension of language. So ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyo, sometimes the comprehension or sensory portion of language is identified as part of the inferior parietal lobule, sometimes also identified as part of the superior temporal lobe. What is this area again? For comprehension, it's called the vernix area, Brodmann area 22. Okay, so this is named after a German neurologist. So you have to pronounce W as letter V. Okay, then this is also the parietal lobe also functions for spatial orientation and perception. Okay, so this is just another, this is the medial view of the brain showing to you Brodmann area 312 for your primary somatosensory cortex. The secondary somatosensory area is Brodmann area number 5. Okay, 5, sometimes 7 is also associated to it. Brodmann areas 17, 18, and 19 are part of the occipital lobe, and they primary function for vision. Next, we go to temporal lobe. So the temporal lobe is divided into a superior temporal gyrus, okay, bounded by the superior temporal sulcus, okay, and then you have the middle temporal gyrus separated from the inferior temporal gyrus by the inferior temporal sulcus. Nagigets nyo? Masyado tayong mabilis. Okay naman kayo, di ba? Alright. Now, if you follow the superior temporal gyrus, okay, if you trace the superior temporal gyrus going posteriorly, you will end up with the angular gyrus. Ito mukha talaga siyang right angle in true specimen of the brain. Okay? So again, if you trace the superior temporal gyrus, it will end in angular gyrus. Okay? And then if you trace, on the other hand, the lateral sulcus of Rolando, it will end in another gyrus known as the supramarginal gyrus. I emphasize this two gyri, the supramarginal and angular gyrus, because they are very important. Later, I will tell you why, okay? So there, this is just an inferior view of the temporal lobe showing to you the different portions, the parahippocampal gyrus, fusiform, and inferior temporal gyrus. The parahippocampal and the fusiform gyri are very important for functions of memory. Okay. What is the this is the temporal lobe, okay? So temporal lobe connects with the frontal lobe because it's very important for speech. Kasi andyan ang hearing natin, okay? The primary auditory area is found in the temporal lobe, okay? So again, this is just a review. Broca's area for speech is area 44-45. For the sensory or comprehension of spoken language, we have Brodmann area 22. It's bounded by the angular gyrus and the supramarginal gyrus at this area. Okay. Brodmann area 44 is your primary auditory cortex. 41, sorry. Primary, again, the transverse temporal gyrus of Heschel, or your primary auditory area, is Brodmann area 41. Okay. Wernicke's area is the posterior portion of your superior temporal gyrus on the left. It's for comprehension of language. The medial surface of the temporal lobe is for higher order processing of visual information. Okay? Yung inferior surface niya. While the medial surface is for learning and memory. So you see, it's not just the occipital lobe that functions for vision, but also the temporal lobe. Actually, all the lobes will function. The frontal, the parietal, the temporal, and the occipital lobe functions for vision. Okay? When we get deeper into the subcortical pathways, you will understand why. Okay, now this is the occipital lobe. All the gyri are referred as the lateral occipital gyri. Okay. This is the cuneus. It's a wedge-shaped area between the calcarine and the this is the calcarine and the parieto-occipital sulci. Okay, that's your cuneus. It's just part of the brain. So ito siya, medially, mas nakikita. It's bounded inferiorly by the calcarine fissure. Okay. And superiorly by the parieto-occipital sulci. Okay. The lingual gyrus, on the other hand, is inferior to the cuneus. It's just below the calcarine fissure. So when we go into the different functional capacities of the lobe, specifically the occipital lobe, we'll go to cuneus and lingual gyrus again. Okay, we'll discuss it again. What is the primary visual cortex? It's Brodmann area number. Any guess? Pumili lang kayo. 17, 18, 19. Brodmann area
17.
18. Okay. The secondary visual cortex is Brodmann area 18 and 19. Okay. So the occipital lobe is actually it functions not just for you to interpret what you're seeing, but also it tries to interpret the depth of what you're looking at, okay? The distance of the objects, lahat yun ini-interpret niya. Bakit itong laptop ko mukhang malapit sa akin? Bakit itong books ko mukhang malayo sa akin? All of those things are being interpreted not by the primary visual cortex, but by the secondary visual cortex, okay, or Brodmann area 18 and 19. They have a more difficult job than the primary visual area, okay? It's for higher visual processing and they extend up to the level of the temporal lobe. So sabi ko nga sa inyo, the function of vision is not solely confined to the occipital lobe. Actually, the entire brain functions for visual, okay? So the interpretation of what you see, the distance, the depth of objects, the color, the differences in hues and textures, lahat yun you'd be able to really appreciate because of a well-functioning visual association cortex, okay? All right, so this is just a picture showing to you the different Brodmann areas. Malabo ba sa inyo? Hindi naman. You find this everywhere, okay? Brodmann area 6, that's the premotor cortex. 4, the primary motor cortex. Okay? Brodmann area 312 is the primary somatosensory cortex. 5 is the association or the secondary somatosensory cortex down the line. So pag sinabing V1, that's the primary. Then we have your V2, that's 18 and 19. The superior temporal gyrus, okay, superior temporal gyrus is your Brodmann area 22. Primary auditory cortex is 41, 42. Frontal eye field.
I found this on the web for
Frontal eye field is Brodmann area 8. I'm just telling you the important Brodmann areas, okay? 44 is pars opercularis. Okay? 44, 45, that's pars triangularis. This functions for motor speech, also known as the Broca's area. Okay, so far yun lang. Okay, do you have questions at this point? Do you have questions at this point? Let me just check. Surface of the brain. Pati membranes tayo ngayon, right? Do you need a break? Hindi.
Excuse lang po, Doktor. Hanggang 3 p.m. po tayo today.
Ah, ganun. So ayaw mo na.
Hindi po, Doktor.
Because I think mahaba-haba pa itong membranes of the brain. Sige, we'll just continue this on the Monday next week. Tama ba? Monday
Di ba
ba
po,
tayo?
Dok, sabi mo po, Doc, yung lab po yung Monday, tapos usual lecture po sa Friday?
Okay, we'll have membranes of the brain next Monday together with your lab. Okay, for your lab, I need you to prepare bond paper and pencil. Kasi talagang ipagdodrawing natin kayo. Okay?
Yes po, Doktora.
Do you have questions at this point? So, clarify ko lang. This coming February 19, our lecture would be blood supply and the ventricular system. Tama?
Yes po, Doc.
Okay. And then we'll have lab after the lecture. Correct?
Yes po.
Yes po, Doc.
Then the lecture on the membranes of the brain or the meninges would be Monday next week at 1 to 3 together with the lab.
Yes po, Doc.
Okay, sige. Okay. Do you have questions at this point?
Doc, may tanong lang po ako regarding brain atrophy po. Pag nag-atrophy po ba ang brain natin as meron siyang life expectancy na? And then what are the possibilities that could occur po pag nag-atrophy yung brain po?
Atrophy of the brain is just anatomic. Anatomical lang siya. It's just the structure of the brain, but not necessarily ibig sabihin na magde-decline din in function. Of course not. Okay? The decline in function of the brain would depend on the number of damages it has. Say, for example, Meron tayong 40 years old na nagkaroon ng mga strokes, several strokes. So there are different injuries in the brain already. Magkakaroon na din tayo ng decline in the function of the brain. As compared to an 80-year-old brain who is atrophic already, it doesn't necessarily mean that there will be a decline in the function of the brain. Okay? Kasi, say for example, look at your grandmothers, grandfathers who are 80 years old and above. They still function very well, right? Some of them have good memory. Not every elder people or elder individual will develop memory changes, memory lapses, dementia, ganon. Very rare yan actually. So it doesn't mean that when you have brain atrophy, ibig sabihin magkakaroon na din ng decline in the function of the brain. Of course not, okay? It's actually the function of the brain will actually be depending on the number of damages it has, okay? So kahit say for example, 20 years old ka lang but you have a very, very big damage in the brain, magkakaroon ng deterioration or decline in the function, that including your memory, okay? So the atrophy that you're saying or that what we actually see even on CT scan will just show us that there is indeed a decline in the volume of the brain, but not necessarily in the function of it. Okay?
Okay po, Doc. Thank you po.
You have other more questions? Ilan nga tayo in class? I'll just take a screenshot of your... Sorry kailangan natin sa attendance nyo daw. Nagpapapicture ba kayo?
Doc, nag-screenshot na po yung si
nag-screenshot.
at Chanzar.
Oo, mag-screenshot kayo kasi sa totoong buhay hindi ako marunong yan. Okay? Oo, hindi
Sige,
naman.
Doc. Kami na lang po, Doc, mag-screenshot po.
Correct.
Yes.
Lahat gawin nyo for me, ha? Ang gagawin ko lang ay magle-lecture, okay?
Yes po, Doc.
Narinig nyo ba yung ice cream? Ang ingay-ingay, naiinis na ako. Narinig nyo ba? Kasi naiinis ako.
Doc.
Galit na tuloy yung tatay ko. Wait lang, bakit hindi ko ma-view yung mga mukha nyo? Ay, di bale na. Dadalawa lang.
Kung naka-share screen ka kasi, Doc.
Oo nga, ano? O anong gagawin ko? Tanggalin natin. Tama?
Yes po, Doc, dun sa lower part din po nung sa share screen.
Ay, sabi ko naman sa inyo ang kaya ko lang ay mag-lecture. At wala na. O tapos anong gagawin ko? Naka-share pa rin kayo. O hindi, iyaan mo na. Okay. If you don't have any questions anymore, we'll end here. Okay. You can have a break before your 3 p.m. class. May 2 p.m. class ba kayo?
Yes
Meron po, Doc.
Doc, tanong lang po namin regarding po sa grading system. Kung paano po ba, may quizzes po ba every now and then or long example like other subjects po?
Pag-iisipan ko pa. Pag-iisipan ko kung
Sige
paano
po,
kayo hirapan. Ha? Actually, it's more challenging to be giving exams to you in this format of virtual learning. Okay? Actually, meron akong trust issues. Okay? O, kasi even if I tell you to do your exam in all honesty, yung mga ganun, some of you will be, everything is in your hands now. Googling every information is very, very fast already. No? So, we'll see. Ideally, since virtual kayo or online class, we encourage the students to do reporting as part of the grading system. Pero kasi first year lang kayo, so maybe when you're in second year. But at this time, kami muna lahat mag-lecture sa inyo, okay? With regard to exam, the entire prelim will come from me. It will all come from Blumenfeld. That's our book, okay? Kung ano yung type of questions, hindi siya ganun kadali. Okay? We'll make it a little more difficult for you since yung setup natin medyo hindi maganda. Okay? But of course, I still expect that you'll be honest in answering everything. Okay? You'll be given surprise quizzes from time to time. Tignan din natin how would that be possible. Okay?
Okay po. Thank you po.
basta for laboratory, next meeting, I want you to have bond paper and a pencil.
Okay po, Doc.
Okay. So if you don't have questions, we can call it a day.
Doc, yung Manter and Gans po ba, na, ano pa rin po, applicable pa rin po ba sa neuroanatomy natin?
Pwede naman. Manter and Gans is actually a more simplified form of neuroanatomy. No? Manter and Gans, kasi ganito yan. Learning neuroanatomy is not fun at all. Tama? Agree or disagree?
Agree po.
Agree po.
Bilis na ako mag-agree. Hindi naman. Okay? But when I was a student, Manter and Gans helped me actually kasi ang libro namin nun was Snell. It's very difficult to understand. So it will be very helpful for you to read Manter and Gans because it's a simplified neuroanatomy version. Okay? Parang ipapaintindi niya sa'yo before you go into a deeper reading using your Blumenfeld. Okay? But for purposes of examination, I will get everything from Blumenfeld para fair naman sa inyo. But if you want to understand neuroanatomy in the simplest way, you can read Manter and Gans. Okay? You
Okay
have
po, Doc. Thank you po.
questions? Okay na ba tayo? Ihi na kasi ako.
Okay po, Doc. Thank you po.
Okay, I'll see you next week, guys. Okay.
Sige po, Doktora.
Thank you, Doc.
Thank you po.
Thank you,
Thank you po.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Doc.
Doc.
Thank you, Doc.
Thank you po, Doc.
Uniform time next week.
Thank you.